Hello, friends. This is Wendy. I have been working furiously. Is that the word? Feverishly? Maybe feverishly. Okay. On my Corby book. I've done a number of things in it, and I'll go over that in a minute. One of the things I wanted to share was how difficult it is at this point to have the book already sewn in. I'm sure other people, I don't know. Because I know a lot of people, they like the book already sewn in before they do anything. But I'm finding it very difficult to work on it like this. So like I have a fold out here. It actually goes, I guess, like this. This is going to go there, and then this is the fold out. And I'm trying to work on this page right here. And I want to put my journaling right here, and then something down below. We're in this part of the book, we have just left North Carolina and we're heading to Utah. So I only have these few pages left to fill. I will probably I have this flip out, and I'll have at least one more. And then I also have this flip out that was a book that I wrote. That'll go right towards the end. But it is just trying to get this to work on such a awkward situation. I do have one other book that I made the book first, and I still need to fill up, and that's the Hedwig book, my cat. But I think in the future I will make the pages first and then put them in. Now I have not sewn in, hold on. So I had this book under Corby to try to support it so I can work on it. Otherwise, it's truly impossible. But I'll move that out of the way because... So I have not stitched in these monster signatures yet. And I would have to figure out exactly where the center is. I think this is it. Is this it? I think so. So I think this is the center. So I haven't stitched this in, and so the, let's move this up. The jury is out, which is the more difficult, but I actually don't think this will be nearly so difficult to stitch in. I will probably just do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch instead of the 5-hole pamphlet stitch, which gives me fits every time I try to do it. So, but we'll see which is more difficult. But I'll tell you, assembling the pages is way easier. Because like I'm struggling with that one right there in Corby. But see, like, I can take this out and I can just work on it like, like this. And writing in these pages handwriting has been very difficult. So I have some where I hand wrote something somewhere. Let's see. Oh, it was here. So I did some handwriting. This looks like a young kid has written it instead of me. But it was very awkward to try to do this and to try to get a flat surface. So that was an issue. So while I have Corby out also, I'll just show you a few things that I've done. Try and think. So this is the alphabet from Vault World Travel. I love it. I love it. I still haven't written down there, but anyway. And then, I don't know if I showed you this. This is just paper that I've pulled out of a binder. And then, so right here, these are from this one, and it's this die right here, and I just put it end on end. It's also this empty die right here because I cut out the photos there. And this is Feathered Friends. And this is from one of the wildflower collections that he had. Not the vault one, but the new one. And this was just a plain gray piece of paper, and I used, I did it from correspondence. Oh, let's see if we can see this better. So like a lot of these are from correspondence, but they're also from field notes. So I used, this is from correspondence. This is from, I think, field notes. I had tried to stamp on there and it didn't work at all, so I had to put something over it. Okay, this is future me. I'm going to be going through, this is almost a week later. I apologize. When I started this, this particular project and just the whole YouTube thing, it was back after we had already put our garden to bed. You know, it was in October or November, somewhere in there. And now we're getting excited to do our next garden, right? So my time is less free. I am definitely busier. I realized though, as I was going through this, you didn't even see that I used, just saw that I said that I used that alphabet. So there's that. And this, let me show you closer here. Let me see. Maybe I'll just do it this way. Okay. So this was a leftover. I had cut the heart, and this little piece from the heart was left over. And then I just took my watercolor pencils and I just scribbled in it. And this, of course, is just a page torn out of a book. And then thought I would show you these closer. So I used my watercolor pencils, my Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. And I colored this in yellow first, and then I put a bit of an orangey color. I think this was marmalade, something marmalade. And then it was a little too orange, so then I went over it once again with yellow, and it came out good. And then I just kind of cut the stems up to make this design here. And over here, so this was, so then the flower came from this one here. That's the number. And then this one here is Feathered Friends. And here's that number. And I did take a little chunk out of this little top here to make it look a little more like a cardinal. And there's 3 pieces to this. So this is one piece, this is another, and this is another. And so I painted, and this here is the first piece. I painted it my darkest red, and with the yellow beak. And then this piece, I did do the black just here. And then, so I used multiple colors of red to get this effect. And then I also took my oxide blending tools and went around the edges. So that's how I did that one. And so I used picket fence for a lot of this, and black soot. So that's how I did that one. And I would show you this over here. Okay. So this comes from Funky Florals Large, and that's the number. I love this. I have used all of these a ton. And this is it comes out as one piece, so I usually cut it out of watercolor pencil, and then I color each of the pieces. So it turns out like this. This was from hold on. Okay, so this is from Abstract. This was one from a tag. It was his tag, and this is from Falling Hearts. So here's the body of my chicken. And then I had a flower. It was from one of his funky flower ones. And I just cut it in half. And this eye is like this little circle here. And then I pulled this out of one of his flower sets. Probably the same one that I pulled that flower from. I drew the little feet on. And then these two are also from Falling Hearts. And I used watercolor pencils to do that. Oh, and then this little beak and this little tail, they came from, oh, I don't remember what they're called, but they're by Pete Hughes. He only has a few things. This one, again, is the alphabet. And then I also used the globe. And in cutting out the globe, if you want it to, well, hold on, I'll show you. So the first time I ran it through, I didn't realize that this edge didn't cut. So you have to run, there's two pieces. There's a circle, and then there's this. And so you have to put this die inside of the circle, and then I use painter's tape, but you can use washi tape or whatever. And then it'll cut it all together like this. And then I also cut another circle out of watercolor paper, and I just did some watercoloring underneath for the water. This arrow is this one here. I tried the fatter one, but it's kind of big and fat. So I used this one and just cut it. This is from, oh, what's it called? So this is a Biggs die, and it's called Baggage Claim. And it really is, it's the whole die, it is this thick. And, okay. So then here, I was inspired by Kath Stewart, and it must have been one of her older items that she had made. But it was so beautiful. But I did use, so this is from one of Tim Holtz Funky Flowers. It's a tattered flowers, I think. It's an older die, and the leaves are part of it. This is just some paper that I had. And I got more mail. Yay! And so I did this. Now I have the larger one of this, and I'll show you the comparison. So this is simply called doily, and I think it'll be hard to find. I bought this years ago, and I have been wanting, let me find, I just put another doily by someone else in the same envelope. But I had wanted, he had a second one, and I've been trying to find the second one for years, and I can't. So it's gone. But we pull this out. So here's the difference in size. I mean, it really is quite significant. Some of them, they're just barely different. But this one is a lot different. But it was the perfect size to get a nice little arc. Because if I had used this one, it wouldn't have had quite the arc, right? And anyway, so this was the perfect size for that. And I cut this piece, and then I had these two pieces left over. And so I used them. And I followed her directions, and I happened to have linen, antique linen in the spray bottle, but I didn't shake it up. And so I got some really funky colors here, which is interesting. And I used, where is that? This one. It's called Mini Detailed. Which one did I use? I think I used this one. Yes. Mini Detailed Butterfly. And I didn't use, so this comes with two parts, and I did not use the second part. I just made it look lacy. And I did get in the mail, more mail. I got these. I enjoyed this so much. And I'm going to be doing a lot of garden. I'm going to do at least one garden journal of the gardens over the years, or I may do multiple garden journals, and we do have butterflies that come into our garden. So I got the scribbly butterflies, because though I like this all right, it's missing the antenna, and it just gives me 4 more butterflies to use. And this was very reasonably priced on Amazon, so I did that. And let's see. So this picture, this is a pain too, but this picture here is too large. So I made it go over. Let's see. So you can see it better when it's closed. I just thought, why not? I didn't want to cut anybody's heads off. I didn't want to cut my head off. I didn't want to cut my head off, and I didn't want to cut my aunt's head off. This was the very last time I got to see her alive, so that was special for me. Anyway, it does mean I have to be a little careful as I am going through the book, though, so. And then here I used, let me move this over. I used that again, and all you do is, so it cuts out one. Let me bring it closer so you can see the line right there. So it cuts out one, and so you have to cut these 3 out, but you also have to cut these 3 out. So, and in this way, on a 8x6 page, I actually got 2 photos, because this is pieces of the other one, but all I did was take pictures of the yarrow, which I'm horribly allergic to. And then these are from Mischievous, which is one of my favorite dyes. And this is Tiny Type, which I like. Now that I'm doing things a lot more in my junk journal than I would be on a 12x12 page, some of the larger dies that he has, though I could take a page and do whatever I want. In fact, where's the one? This one here. This naked page here is just going to be art. There's going to be no photos, no anything. It's just going to be art. I have this die right here. And this is also an old one of his that I found years ago on sale, clearance at Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to put this whole die on here. It's too big, but all I need is from North Carolina to Utah. So some of this is going to be cut off, and some of that's going to be cut off. So it'll fit like this. And I'm going to put a car and some, like, I don't know, mountains and fields and all of the things that I'm taking photos of. So anyway, and this barely fits in here. As you can see, it's all scratched, but it fits. I wonder how they got it in there originally, because yeah, it barely fits. Okay, and then I was telling you in the video about this page here. This one wasn't nearly as hard, because as you can see, I can have this all, let me go out a little more. I can have this all down flat as I'm working on it. It's the other side that is challenging, but yeah, so I used Tim Holtz USA. I did have to cut off some of it to get it all to squish on there. I used watercolor pencils to color the states, and then I stuck them back in. I collected all of these states, and I stuck them in a Ziploc bag, and I put it right in the dies, because we've had vacations all over here, and I have another trip back from 2018 where we went all through all of these, so it's kind of like, I need to save these for the future. This is not Tim Holtz. It's just a wheat dye, and I think it's by Prima. I think that's who it's by. But I did use, these 2 clouds are probably not, but this one is from, Okay, so let's see. So I keep the clouds in a book that just says clouds. I have a clouds envelope in one of these. And so I just keep Edison on here. But this is what the clouds look like. And I used the small one. I did it in vellum. I had to cut out 2 of each to get them a little darker. This is going over the Smoky Mountains. Now this part, do you see this here? Oh, let me go back. Sorry. So this is Edison's clouds. I used the small one. This one, see that little thing there? When you take out, this has a lot of different dyes to make this snowscape. And I used this one here. And when you cut it out, it gives you, oh, do I have I might still even have a piece on my desk. Okay, so this will give you an idea, because I cut, so this whole thing cuts out, but I don't have the whole thing. But I used, oh my goodness, I gotta tell you, I tried a whole bunch of different things, and I finally decided that I would just cut this out and discard the rest of it. And I actually cut it out twice so I could get this to be, get everything out of the way. So you can see where, oh, it goes this way. Like this, but I did more. So I cut it out twice and added it to it. So I just used this part. Then this is this section right here. So then, get everything out of the way. This is just this bigger die, and I cut that out. And then the house comes from, and I do this like I do the falling stars and the falling hearts. When I cut them out, I save them. And I just used one of the houses, probably that one right there. And this is from Countryside. I just haven't put this all away. I do have, well, there's some little red birds here. And I was thinking about, oh my goodness, everything's falling apart. See, there's all these pieces that are now everywhere. But I have these little birds. I have them obviously in red. And I was thinking about sticking one next to North Carolina. I haven't decided that yet. But now I have to clean up. Okay, so that is what I did to make this. I just cut that mountain. One of the Appalachian Mountains or Smoky Mountains, which is part of the Appalachian Range. They're not like the Rocky Mountains. So anyway, now I have this everywhere, these little things. Oh, well. Okay, so I still have the rest of this to go. I was going to do something flashy for Nashville, but I changed my mind. So the rest of the book still needs to get done. I've kind of already sorted out what pictures are going to go where. Here's Hedwig watching us drive, and yeah, so I've kind of decided, at least up to this point, I still have some more photos to put out where I'm going to put them. So I've got that organized. And anyway, I know when I first started out, I had a friend say, figure out how many days a week you're going to do it. I'm going to do it 5 days a week. I'm really going to be on this, which I was at the beginning. But like I said, we put our garden to bed. We just bought a pear tree and an apple tree, and our backyard is a mess. It's just an awful mess. And so there's just so much we need to do. Yesterday we took a big stump out. I did a little bit. My sons and my husband, they did the heavy lifting and everything, and they got it all in the back of the pickup truck. And we've just been busy, 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 busy. We're planning our backyard, and I picked out the flagstone that I want in the backyard already, and you don't care. I know, you don't care about any of that stuff. We're going to make a little barbecue area and have a little seating, and it's going to be so exciting. We're really excited. And so I haven't even been back into this book to look at it for like 3 days or so. So I am sorry. I will try very hard to get one of these out a week during the busy summer. But you got to make hay while the sun shines, right? You got to garden. Oh, I got my tulips are coming up. It's beautiful here. It's just beautiful. And it's funny because the tall mountains, they still have the snow on them, but we're getting pretty warm weather. It's going to be in the 70s this week. So anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And if you enjoyed this, please give it a big thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and subscribe. Oh gosh, I can't even remember these things. I'm not doing it often enough. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, sunny, beautiful, tulipy day. Bye.